you have a two-pot system, two-piston system over here. So, actually, is it a single? No, it's two-piston. Right here, one piston here, other piston here. That's very simple with a banjo bolt over there. It's decent. It's not the biggest system I've seen, but it's really adequate. I mean, in today's world, probably isn't much, but 2003, pretty good. And it stops the car pretty well, too. What it'll tell you is that this is definitely smaller than the 2006 model front brake system, but it's alright. Gets the job done. Alright, nothing fancy about it. So, okay, let's jump on. This is what you have for brakes. You know, rear disc, which is pretty cool. Decent sized brakes. They're not biggest. I mean, this car is heavy and it stops, so no problem really. Then your e-brake. This is it. This is where your e-brake comes to. Your e-brake engages at the bottom, and it's going to be a shoe. It's going to be a brake shoe system. So, just just something to look out for. How about it's it's the same as the newer model. That's what they did. Disc brake for normal stopping, and the parking brake is a shoe. Then come to brakes. That's what you got. It's a two-piston system right here, and I can't really show much, not from here, but trust me, it's two pistons. So here's one hump, and here's the other hump. I don't know if you can see that. It's a two-piston system, pretty good. The slotted rotors obviously are not stock for this application. I've had the 2006 M45 rear-wheel drive base model, very base, and the brakes. I mean, the brakes are the same really, but I had stock everything, and they're pretty good. Again, some people upgrade these things to the Ekibonos, and it just depends on what you're trying to do. Pretty good system as far as stock systems go. So that's the front. Let's jump to the back now. Brake-wise, system is similar to the 2003. That you have your itty-bitty brake over here, single piston setup. And then down here, this right here, is your cable for your e-brake. So your e-brake is a mechanically operated system with drums over here. You have shoes that expand outwards and hold this hat over here. So that's your braking system. Then the beauty of it. The sport models have some big beefy brakes. The rotor's big as hell. I'm pretty sure that's the size of some old Nissan wheel. I can't remember, maybe 14 or whatever it is. So you've got four piston or four pot, as I call them, brakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is some of the simplest brake pads you could ever have to replace. Really simple. And I mean, they're usually all simple, but just like slide this thing out, and I usually, you got a cotter pin over there. Instead of smacking it, I just use a screwdriver on that side, get it turning. Of course, remember to press down over here to get that thing the pin to move out easier. Anyway, so that's it, man. This right here, this is an impressive braking system. This is a heavy car, and at the end of the videos, I'll make a commentary about the way they handle. But this is a heavy vehicle, and if you don't modulate your foot, man, you'll give yourself some whiplash. It's very impressive. For brakes, this system right here, it's beefy. Like, this would work as a front brakes of another car, and then some. So 2-piston rear, that's really good, Again, one of the simplest systems you would ever have to replace the brake pads on. Really easy. And I mean, brakes in general are not really too hard. One of the hardest parts, or one of the most tiring parts of brakes, is just jacking up and securing your car, really. E-brake. And once again, You see the return of the drum brakes. So here's your cable, right? This is it. And then right here, I believe, well, I'll actually pull the other one out and see. But so we're seeing this has stayed the same throughout the three generations. You've got, you know, your e-brake coming into the bottom, and again you have shoes that just push out to the hat. I've talked about e-brakes with the 3 cars, and I just happen to have a part here, so let's look at it. So here you go. So this is the, you know, as it comes in from the bottom, right? You've got your hydraulic cable. Well, not a hydraulic cable, it's a brake cable. Yeah, well, brake cable. Then it is all mechanical actually. So yeah, mechanically actuated, and once you pull whatever you need to pull up top by pushing on your foot brake, you know, that pushes out, and then these shoes exert friction on the hat. So nothing hydraulic about the e-brake over here, unlike, you know, your normally actuated brake shoes. So yeah, there you go. The shoes look pretty good still.